Now we come to the famous Lee's Ferry. This site has political and scientific significance. Let's start with the scientific. Maybe political. This site divides the lower from the upper Colorado River watershed. A watershed is an area in which all the drainage from the surface water and the groundwater is flowing to a common base level, in this case the Colorado River. The Colorado River drains about 242,000 acres of land out here in the Southwest and is the prime water source for most of this very arid area. In 1922, we began what became known as the Law of the River. At that time, they were constructing Hoover Dam downstream here. Now just imagine you live out here and you depend on the Colorado River for water, and someone's making this humongous dam upstream. You know, you start to worry, right? What's going on? Are my rights being protected? Are they going to take my water? And Herbert Hoover, who was then Secretary of State and overseeing the dam operation, decided that he would divide the Colorado River watershed into an upper and a lower and assign a certain amount of discharge in acre feet a year to each one. An acre foot is the amount of water that it takes to fill 1 acre a foot deep. At that time, he measured 5 years worth of discharge, the amount of water that's coming down per year, at the U.S. Geologic Society gauging station, which you can see right there across the river. It's still running. It's been running. They've been measuring it since 1922. And he saw that they were getting an average of 16.3 million acre feet a year. That's a lot. But he decided to make a conservative estimate. Conservative meaning he didn't want to overestimate the resource. So he said, well, we're getting 16.3, so I'll divide up 15 million, and that way I know we'll get enough every year. So he took the 15 million acre feet and said the upper Colorado River watershed could have 7.5, and the lower Colorado watershed could have 7.5 million acre feet. Just to visualize, that's the amount of water that it would take to fill an Olympic-sized swimming pool once every 9 seconds for a whole year. That's a lot of water, okay? What he didn't realize was that those were 5 very wet years that he had measured. And that's way above what we normally get here. And in the last 20 years, we've been in a drought, so it's been a lot less. Now, back in 1922, there weren't very many people living out here. And if you made a graph, starting in 1922 to today, the usage of water was only like about 5 million acre feet a year out here. But it's been gradually going up, and it's pretty much going up as a straight line. And a lot of people are retiring to the Southwest, and it continues to go up. However, the river itself does what rivers do. Sometimes it has wet years, sometimes it has dry years, and it goes up and down. But it's not going to keep going up with the population, right? So that creates a dilemma. In 1996, those two lines equaled each other for the first time. The amount of water we used equaled the amount of water that was coming down the river. That means we used every single drop of water that came down the Colorado River in 1996. And since then, our usage has continued to increase, and we've been in a drought. Well, how do we do that? How can you use more water than's actually in the river? The answer is dams, and we'll explore that a little more when we get to Glen Canyon.